Hi everyone, my name is Latoya from Emerald Astrology, and I'm here today to speak with you about the archetypes. I'm actually doing a series on this, and it's titled Working with the Archetypes. So how are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. Right now I'm a little nervous. This is my first video, so be nice. But also I would like some feedback. So let's just dig right in. I'm looking down pretty often because I'm looking at my notes so that I don't sidetrack or ramble too much. By nature, I'm a rambler. Gemini Sun, I guess, is a thing. But so I have my notes just to keep me on track. I am here to speak with you about the archetype Saturn. So I thought, why not do it in a place where I think Saturn will feel most comfortable, which is with nature, in the woods. Beautiful, beautiful place. I particularly like to live in the woods because it's comforting and it helps me be more focused and live in a more intentional life. But anyways, so I would like to speak with you about Saturn, but more particularly because I've been working with Saturn, I feel, for most of my life. Mostly because I've been in Sadhisa for, 7 years now, and just been ruled over Saturn for the past 9 years now. And anyways, so that's like Eastern astrology, but that's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about today is the archetype Saturn. First, I would like to start off with the definition of archetype. So what does that mean? What archetype means, by definition, is a recurrent symbol or motif in literature, art, or mythology. So mythology and astrology go well together because it helps us humans understand how do the planets in our everyday lives, inspirations, desires intertwine with each other. And we do it through storytelling, mythology, so that we can understand. Makes it easier. So Saturn, I won't go much into the myth of Saturn, but just to kind of give a little understanding of Saturn. Saturn is the son of Father Sky and Mother Earth, so he's very much connected to the, I guess, supreme energies that we depend upon every day. And so I guess we can just go ahead and go into what is the archetype of Saturn. What do he embody, enforce in our everyday life? Oh, before I go do that, I would like to also say that you can see Saturn as a part of your psyche or outside of yourself. Either way, it's this energy, this part of your psyche is very much real and is a part of your everyday life. So either way that you see it, do as I will, however makes you feel more comfortable. I like to see it as part of my psyche, Saturn being a part of my psyche, or, literally people can embody the archetype Saturn. I feel like personally I do most of the time, or just been very, very aware of that part of myself. So do as you will, see however you want to see it. But so Saturn, what is he all about? What do he embody? So Saturn is the ruler of karma. He is the taskmaster, father time. He's the ruler of death. So he's like, in mythology known as the figure you embrace once you cross over from this life to the next. So before you do that, you have to confront him, and he lays it on you, tells you what you've done, etc. And then he also rules over responsibility, a sense of responsibility within your own self, discipline, repetitive hard work. So routine, doing the same thing over and over and over again. He's also the alchemist, long-term investments in your career. So the things that I like about Saturn, I'm just due to, I like a lot of things about Saturn. Sorry, car. I'm also in the road. But the two things that I like about Saturn is that he is the alchemist and the discipliner. Why do I like these two things? Well, for one, I like alchemy. I love transforming situations into something that is very useful for me, so that I'm not a victim. I really don't like victim consciousness. I don't believe in dwelling in that place, because you're powerless. You're giving your power away. So personally, I like that Saturn is the alchemist, is known as the alchemist, because, for instance, he will see a situation as it is, because Saturn also rules reality of things, and extract the essence that is useful out of it so that he can use it. So for example, you see this tree, or this birch tree, and through Saturn's eyes, he would say, okay, how can I use this tree so that it makes my life a little easier, and I don't have to depend on anything else, that I can just use what's here. How can I do this? So, obviously you can use, well, you may not know, or you may know, you can use the bark of the birch tree when it's peeling to start as a fire kettle, if I'm saying that right, but to start a fire with. It's very easy to spark a fire with that material. And so Saturn, being the alchemist, asks these questions of, what am I seeing? How can I use it so that it's useful? Also the discipliner. The reason why, why would I like discipline? Well, I like discipline because it's looking long term. It's creating falling into that, yes, there's limitations, and I have to go with these limitations so that I can get the thing that I want in long term. So for instance, I want to attain land eventually in this life one day. So I have to work, however way I need to work. That's fulfilling, first of all, because it's a thing that I value. As to work that is fulfilling, save money or whatever to get land. So it's kind of like I have to have discipline to get to that long-term goal. So Saturn's all about that. How he relates to me. Well, first of all, as you may or may not know, I work with the soil. I am a soil food web consultant. So I work with soil ecology. I love to build compost and different forms of compost so that I can transform, for instance, food scraps, wood chips, manure into something useful like earth, so that I can grow nutrient-dense foods that feeds my body, that makes me feel good, it makes me feel whole and healthy. So that's one way, an expression of how I work, how Saturn relates to me. I love being in solitude because I am able to declutter all the extra stuff that I picked up from being around people, such as expectations, or the way of doing things, or just so I'm just able to just kind of come back to myself and ask myself what is really there in my heart. Solitude. That's another thing about Saturn, is solitude, actually being with the self and working with what you have and sticking to it. So I really do like that about working with Saturn, working with this archetype, this part of my psyche. And last but not least, because I'm only sharing with 3 because I don't want to ramble, is the hard work. And you don't work hard so that you just survive. You work hard so that you thrive, so that you live a life that's fulfilling. And at least that's for me. So hard work to be able to attain, to be able to, just to reach my goals in life, which is pretty much just to grow food, work, do astrology, do this, astrology, and just be helpful to people to make life more simple. So I work hard so that I can stick to my own values, you know, fill up my own sense of self instead of, you know, reaching outside of myself, solitude, working hard. So that's a little bit about me, and how I relate to Saturn. So you may be asking, well, how can you work with this archetype, this part of your psyche, this energy? Build a routine, first and foremost. Build a routine that helps you align with your long-term goals. I guess first you have to ask, what is your long-term goal? What is it that you really, really want? And, you know, really think about, how are you going to get it? How are you, you know, going by yourself, construct a plan that in this reality, you know, is able to be attained? Like, how can you understand what is reality and what is your goal, and how to bridge the two? So build a routine. You know, if you want to be an artist to show your work in a gallery, you know, okay, first of all, you got to have art. You have to have artwork to show. So, you know, every day do a painting. You know, every day do 30 minutes of, you know, of doing your work. You know, setting a routine, setting a repetitive thing every single day to do, so that you have that routine, and then you build upon yourself, so that you're able to reach that goal, that mountain. You know, take responsibility of your actions is another thing about working with this energy. Saturn is very fair and expect you to do what you are supposed to do. So, like, you want to be this successful entrepreneur. Well, have you been doing the work every day? If not, then you're not going to get there. You know, Saturn's very fair, so you have to build that routine. Take responsibility of your actions. Take responsibility of your values. And then the last but not least, because I'm only sharing 3, is to give yourself space for solitude. So you really got to dig deep within yourself, you know, dig deep into your own fertile nature and say, what is it that you want? You know, I know what all these people want, what they expect of me, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But what is it that I want? Am I aligned to who I am and what is, you know, what is true to me? And so that you're able to go out into the world and be that successful entrepreneur, successful artist, successful whatever that is that you want to pursue, your outward action or career, however you want to see it. So yeah, that's my take on the archetype Saturn. I hope you really enjoyed my little video. This is my first video, so be nice, but at the same time I would like feedback, so you can comment below. And if you have any more questions, you know, you can reach me at emeraldastrology@gmail.com, or Facebook. Facebook's what is that, / Emerald Astrology 99. I think that's what my Facebook page is. I'll type everything down below so that you have a way to contact me if you want. But yeah, so that's my take on Saturn. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.